Okay, let's take a look at where we're at. All right, let me get my pointer out here. Now, so using the same method where I put one plastic pipe inside of another, like these beer kegs, which I still have not polished yet. Save that for a little while. Here are the air tanks. Okay, now the air tanks have got a little bit of panel lining, and they've got some Citadel Null and Earl on them. Okay, see the bands? The bands are tape. They're just, they're just regular old this Tamiya masking tape cut into a tiny strip and wrapped around. Look pretty good. Put the wire on there. We're not going to need to put, because these go so close to the cab, we are not going to worry about the pipes on the backside. In all the photos I found, there are tons of other pipes that we're not going to be doing, but the backside pipes are only visible on a B unit. So these should be just perfect. They'll fit in there. Now let's take a look at side frames. Okay, remember I told you they were silver, and they were, and according to that picture right there, okay, they are silver, but it's the only reason you can tell they're silver is because that fuel tank is gray. And by looking at other pictures, you can tell that they're silver. So what I did was I went ahead and I did them. First I primered them, and then I painted them, spray painted them silver. Then I put Null and oil on them. Then I dry brushed them gray. These ought to be just right. And we may dirty up the air cylinder on top. May dirty that up just a little bit to make it look a little more like that right there. Not too much, because remember the cab itself is, or the shell itself is going to cast a shadow on those, so they're going to be hard to see. So we may not do anything more to them, just because they're always going to be under a shadow. So they shouldn't be too dark. They should be light enough, and with the shadow cast on them, they should be just right. So they're looking pretty good. And then, yep, when we cut these guys off, and we're going to do the fuel tank, so it looks like that. That's our fuel tank. That's the one we're going for. We're going to do that with lead. Okay, the other thing is, on this picture that I've got up here, let's take a look at the pilot. Now, that's some weird kind of cow catcher type thing. We're not going to do that. This is a fairly old picture, and one thing is the very edges of the stairs should be white. It's worn off. As you can see, the end of the handrails are white, and the rest of them are gray. No problem. What we're looking at here is we're going to clip this guy, but here's the front end. We're going to get rid of the front end running boards. Okay, they're not on any picture I can find, so we're going to get rid of those, and it's going to be flat. And then we are going to have to mill the frame again so that we can put in a coupler with a coupler box. It's got to have draft gear. It's insulated, because if we put the couplers on this guy just the way it is, those couplers are live. We don't want that. We want insulated couplers. And so we're going to go ahead and shave off the existing coupler setup. We're just going to shave it a little bit and then tap a 256 hole, and then we're going to be good to go on putting couplers in. But hey, those side frames right there under shadow, they're going to look awesome. They're going to look amazing. And that's where we are.